There's on DeAndre Hopkins.
Murray's going to go. Stutter step. Out of bounds. High snap again. End zone and picked off! Intercepted by Rasul Douglas. And the Packers are going to win it. A.J. Green was the target, and he never looked for the ball.
One of the weirdest interceptions you will ever see. This is Interesting to See, your daily sports podcast about news, narratives, takes, and gambling. Your and my Green Bay Packers defeat the Arizona Cardinals on Thursday Night Football, and your boy, that's me, makes a ton of money. I won all my bets. Like, Aaron Rodgers is going to get 6.5 points on the road? GTFO. I'm a Lions fan. Please, I don't care who the hell he's playing. I don't care. That was easy effing money, man. The Packers win. So let's break down the play real quick. We're going to talk about the NFL mess. We'll talk about college football and the I'm going to demand punishment for the Chicago Blackhawks. I have something that I think is adequate. But we're going to start with this Thursday Night Football game. So here's what happens. It's a close game. It's not a close game. The Cardinals screwed up. They screwed up two ways. Kyler Murray threw a disastrous interception that led to a touchdown. Just really stupid, awful play. And then, but before that, Rondale Moore, the Purdue superstar receiver, running back, kind of scat back person, who's a freak. He's so fast and such a good player. He muffed a punt. It was bouncing. It rolled to him. It touched his finger, and then he put his hands up like he didn't touch it. And, bro, like, it was awful. Goes to the 4-yard line. Packers get a field goal out of that. They end up winning by a field goal. One of the dumbest plays I've ever seen. Like, Rondale Moore in film on Monday is going to get roasted, and he should. He kind of is one of the big reasons they lost this game. He handed the Packers 3 points by pretending he didn't touch the football. Buddy, you touch the football, you got to get in there. You got to dive on it. What are you doing? Like, that was one of the laziest, stupidest, weirdest plays I've ever seen in professional football. Now, I don't know if people are going to be roasting him, but whatever. So then after that, the game's close and blah, 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 and the Cardinals are coming down. They're driving. Kyler Murray starts the drive, right? The Packers are going to go for the win. It's 4th and short on, like, the Cardinals' 2-yard line, but instead of taking the points, which, like, what the hell are we doing? Instead of kicking the field goal to make it a 6-point game, the Packers try to go for it on 4th down to win the game. Nope, doesn't work. Like, why would you want to go up 6? People don't miss extra points all the time. So then the Cardinals, 3rd and 10 from their own, like, 1-yard line, almost got a safety. Kyler completes it, and it's like 2-minute drive, and he is click, 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 click all the way down the field, and he gets them, the Cardinals, to like the 7-yard line, 1st and goal. He throws a back shoulder fade. Now, at this point, he's limping pretty bad. It looks like he's got like a little knee or ankle tweak. It doesn't look that bad, but we'll see. And he throws a back shoulder fade to A.J. Green, who's blocking on the play. And the ball gets picked off in the end zone. And it's just such a dud way to end the game. That's either A.J. Green or Kyler Murray didn't communicate correctly what was going on, because A.J. Green didn't know what he was supposed to do. And it was like such a dud. But on that play, I won a bunch of money. So I don't really care that much. It was awesome. Awesome for me. Oh, man. We're going to preview NFL and college football, but we're going to start with PETA, the People for the Ethical Treatment of Animals. Yesterday, they piggybacked on the World Series, and they want some press. So PETA, at PETA, the Twitter account, changed their name to Arm Barn because they have a new demand. PETA is demanding that baseball change the term bullpen to Arm Barn. Here's the tweet. Quote, bullpen refers to an area of the bull's pen where bulls are held before they're slaughtered. It's a word with specious roots, and we can do better than that. Switching to Arm Barn would be a home run for baseball, fans, players, and animals. Everyone agrees that this is a great idea, but more than that, they agree that PETA is the fucking worst, so they're not going to do it, but everyone's like, damn, that's a good idea. Someone else, if you guys had slipped that in there and not just did this for PR, we probably would have done it, but they cannot agree to let PETA do that. A couple nights ago, Russell Westbrook for the Lakers had one of the, they call it the quadruple flop. He had a quadruple double, but one of those stats wasn't good. Here's his stat line. He's the king of triple doubles, and he tries really hard, but he also gets a lot of bit of ball hoggy stuff, even though he gets a lot of assists. 20 points, yep, double digits. 14 rebounds, double digits. 13 assists, double digits. 10 turnovers. That's really bad. If a team has 10 turnovers in an NBA game, that's bad. Russell, you are something else. Getting old. Russell Westbrook is getting old. A couple things. Let's start off with the NFL news. Every year, the NFL owners meet in wherever. This year, it's LA. Sometimes it's in New York. Sometimes it's somewhere in the South where it's nice and pretty and warm. They're meeting in Los Angeles right now, and things are coming out, and it's becoming like a TV show Succession. It's really becoming hilarious, to be honest with you. But let's start with Roger Goodell. Roger Goodell has made $130 million over the last 2 years. So his job is to be the punching dummy for the billionaires, and they are going to essentially make him a billionaire. What an a-hole. I respect that. With last night's win, Matt LaFleur's record goes to 33-7 in his first 40 games. That's better than every coach ever through their first 40 games during the Super Bowl era. I think only Lombardi was better with the Packers. I don't know. They're so annoying. The Packers are so annoying. Get 6.5 points on the road. Get out of here. All right, so let's keep talking about this owners meeting. So we've been talking about how the Rams completely colluded and they bailed on St. Louis, and the city of St. Louis is saying, hey, sit down. And now it turns out that there have been a couple bad depositions from the owners. There have been a couple incriminating emails, and now the lawsuit is powering forward to the point where the NFL, who's a bunch of billionaires, just a billionaires club of billionaires, they always get whatever they want. And now the judges in this case are like ruling against the NFL at every pass. The last hope for the league is to get the case thrown out of the city of St. Louis, and it doesn't seem like that's going to happen. So now it's like originally they thought the settlement might be like $500,000. Now it's looking like potentially billions of dollars from the league, right? Billions with an S at the end. I saw one suggestion from a lawyer that they should just award an expansion franchise to St. Louis to pay for this. So this is what happened. The owners knew this was going to happen. And Stan Kroenke, the owner of the Rams, now the owner of the Rams and the stadium in LA, and the owner of something in the United Kingdom, I think Man City, he told them back when this was happening in 2016, I will pay your bills. When we get sued, I will pay your legal fees. Those legal fees are over $100 million now. And he's like, just kidding. So then at the owners meeting, this is reports. They have an owners meeting that is just owners. There are a couple owners meetings where there's like committees and blah, 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 but they have a meeting where it's just the owners of the NFL. And they were like, hey, Stan, step the fuck out of the room real quick. And they just shit on him, apparently. One guy told him, John Mara, the owner of the Giants, said, if you didn't promise indemnity, like you were going to pay for us and take care of this, we would not have voted for you to move or even have a franchise. Yikes. So this is getting bad. Other people are, and then the craziest thing that happened was that there was an owner that stepped out of line. Most of them don't talk about different things that are going on because there's another thing that's happening, and that's there are 650,000 emails in an investigation about sexual assault and harassment at the Washington football team. And I don't know what Dan Snyder has on all of these people, but for some reason they feel like protecting the worst owner in the professional sports landscape. Just a tool and probably a sexual predator. They are going to turn over the emails. The only person who's been fired from this because of the emails is John Gruden. Ergo, Al Davis. So instead of saying we're not going to turn it over, we're not going to turn it over, which is what all the owners have been saying, Al Davis is like, they should turn it over. And that pissed off everybody. And it feels like it literally, there are 3 scandals happening right now, and they can't keep anything together, and it is getting really juicy. Scandal number 1, Deshaun Watson's going to get traded. He has all of these counts and accusations of sexual assault, and he's probably going to play. They don't want to deal with that. That's a distraction or a story? We're going to find out. Distraction to story number 2 is that all of these Washington football team victims, these women who were victimized at the Washington football team, have started to say we didn't want anonymity, which is the excuse the NFL had for not turning over the emails. And now Mark Davis, who's a billionaire, says, I want to see the emails and I want them public. So is that a distraction from the billions of dollars they're going to owe the city of St. Louis? It is getting juicy. St. Louis going to get a franchise. Somebody is getting screwed. It is literally, folks, buckle up. Because they're losing battles that they've been winning for years. And people are just watching. It's like it's an episode of Succession. They sent the guy out of the room so they could get mad at him. It's incredible. Oh. I love sports. Okay, let's look at college football this weekend. How's the slate look? There are a couple good games. Let's take a look at it first and foremost. Coastal Carolina, they bounced back from their loss to App State about 10 days ago or so. They beat Troy last night. Texas and Baylor are playing. I like Texas to beat Baylor. Baylor is now ranked, I guess. I don't understand what that's about. I'm starting to think that older I get, the rankings are just so stupid. The big game in the noon window is Michigan State. Oh, man, Michigan State fans are so fussy that it's at noon, and they're just fussy in general, and they're just so annoying. Iowa and Wisconsin also at noon. I think Wisconsin is going to end up winning the Big Ten West and just making everybody mad because they're not that good. Georgia and Florida play at 3:30 p.m. Florida is a real football team. Georgia has a schedule that it's unclear whether or not they played a good offense. They played some competent-ish offenses, but Florida is a real-life good offense, and they have players that are going to the NFL just like Georgia. And if Georgia loses a game in the regular season, it'll be that one. And I kind of like Florida to make it weird, for sure. Who'd have thought that Clemson, Florida State wouldn't have a ranked team, but Duke, Wake Forest would. Duke's at Wake Forest tomorrow at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Ole Miss is at Auburn at 7 p.m. That's got to be the ESPN night game, or maybe not. The night games, there are some pretty good ones. It's Ole Miss at Auburn, Penn State at Ohio State, and Kentucky at Mississippi State. I think that one's going to be good. The other ranked matchups, UNC and BYU. UNC at Notre Dame, Virginia at BYU. That's the Bronco Mendenhall Bowl, the guy that made BYU kind of what they are. Had been coaching there for like 12 years, and he was the guy that was pissing everybody off. Well, he coaches at Virginia now. And BYU is ranked again. That's what I'm saying. SMU is ranked. Oklahoma State and Kansas, they're ranked. Like, I don't know about any of this. Cincinnati's at Tulane. Be careful on that. What's the line on that game? We got to find that line, and I'm going to tell you why we got to find that line. Because Cincinnati played a tough game last week against Navy. And for those of you who've ever really dived into college football, there is a curse. The team that plays Navy has a tough week the next week. Cincinnati is favored by 30. Oh, man. I'm going to bet on that game. I haven't even bet on college football all year. They're not going to win by 30. Wait, that was last week. Hold on. What are we doing? Is this week 9 of college football? No. Yeah, I got to find the Tulane line. I'll get back to you guys on that line. Where are they? Yeah, Cincinnati's favored by 27 after Navy, because Navy does this thing where they just beat the crap out of you for forever, and it makes your D linemen tired. Honestly, if you're a good program, you should just play your backups. All right, let's take a look at the NFL slate. Some interesting games. It's NFL football. It's whatever you want to make it. We've had 2 consecutive bad weeks of NFL and college football. There have been a couple games to save us, but for the most part, they've been trash. But we have some division matchups this week that are hopefully going to fix things. The first game of the week, of course, Thursday Night Football, got us off to a bang. The game I'm the most interested in the early slate, Eagles and Lions, is going to be weird because this game is going to be a game that the fans of those 2 franchises are going to look back on and wish they had lost in April. So I don't know who's going to lose. Everybody likes Dan Campbell to get his first win of the season. It's the first game this year that the Eagles will be favored in, and it is the Deuce Staley revenge game. Deuce Staley was the assistant head coach and running backs coach and like co-offensive coordinator for years under Doug Peterson. He worked his way up. They fired Doug Peterson. And the Eagles fired Doug Peterson late, so all of the good coaches are kind of gone, the ones that everybody wants. The Eagles hired Nick Sirianni, who was like the offensive coordinator, quarterback coach thing in Indianapolis, which is not real because Frank Reich is the head coach and offensive coordinator, and they didn't hire Deuce Staley. Those 2 guys have one thing notably in that makes them different. Deuce is black, and now he coaches for the Lions, so the Lions media hasn't really been paying attention to the Deuce Staley revenge game. Dan Campbell hired all former players. But Deuce kind of got screwed. He should be the head coach of the Eagles right now. Essentially, everybody agrees, and the Philadelphia media knows all about that. So maybe there's a revenge game element. I don't know. Regardless, Kayvon Thibodeau, Kyle Hamilton, Matt Corral are on the line in Ford Field. The Eagles get their ass kicked in a dome at least once a year. However, both times they played in a dome so far, they got their ass kicked. So I have no idea what to make of this game. Another great game, Cleveland and Pittsburgh. Baker Mayfield may or may not play. He's got the shoulder thing. His non-throwing shoulder is really screwed up. It's all sorts of jacked up. The Steelers, nobody knows if they're good. One of these teams is going to make the playoffs. I believe there will be 2 teams from that division that make the playoffs. The Browns still have aspirations on winning the division. I mean, it's also just an enjoyable game. Even when the Browns have been bad all these years, watching them play the Steelers was really fun to me. Falcons and Panthers, that'll be a good one. Rams are at the Texans. I think Matthew Stafford won't even, I don't know, I bet he doesn't even play all 4 quarters. Yeah. Patriots at the Chargers. That'll be good to see what Bill Belichick can do against Justin Herbert. Niners and Bears, and we'll call the Sad Fraud Bowl. The afternoon game that I suspect everyone's going to want to watch is going to be Cowboys. Well, Cowboys-Vikings is the night game. But, yeah, Bengals at Jets. It'd be good for the Bengals after having whooped up on the Ravens to have a week off against the Jets. Get it because of a bye week. Do you get it? World Series continues tonight. Good for the World Series for making sure they had a Friday Night Lights game. After high school football wraps up, you can watch the last 3 or 4 innings. The series moves to Atlanta now. They have the Braves are dealing with some injuries, but I mean, it's 1-1. It's a 5-game series now. Anything could happen. It's baseball. People get hot. People are good. People are bad. That kind of crap happens all the time in professional baseball. As far as gambling goes, let's take a look at some NFL games that I like to bet on. The Eagles favored by 3.5 feels weird to me. The Browns are favored by 3.5 as well. A game that I really kind of like. I like the Bucs to cover 4.5. I think they're going to crush the Saints. The Saints have made some good teams look really bad, but I don't know. That seems like a kind of a sucker bet to me. The Chiefs are favored by 10 over the Giants. Whoa, nope, too many points. I love the Giants there to keep that close. The Chiefs can't stop the run. The Giants are an old school football team. They're never going to win anything important, but they're going to piss some teams off because they just won't stop running. The Bills are favored by 14 over the Dolphins, and honestly, that seems kind of generous. I'm going to win that game by 20. The Seahawks are favored over the Jags. The Seahawks suck. That's interesting. Oh, yeah. I forgot. This Sunday is Halloween. Halloween annoys me with the storylines in the stadiums. Like, look how dressed up everyone. Just not that into that. I'm really not. Heisman Trophy odds keep moving day to day. Bryce Young, Matt Corral, C.J. Stroud, Kenny Pickett, still the favorites. I will stand. Kayvon Thibodeau, Jordan Davis. They need to be taken more seriously. Someone vote for them. You can do it. Back and better than ever on Monday morning. This is interesting to see. Like, rate, review, subscribe, etc., etc.